Late start for the day. It's after 5 o'clock. I've got to work most of the evening. Again, trying to, what my goal is to make enough extra money every single month to be able to pay the orthodontist bills with just the extra money, so I'm not taking away from the money that either I'm trying to save up for one thing or another, or away from anything that might be needed through the month. Because I counted it up when I was talking about the UCare page that was created, and there is 16 monthly prescriptions that are bought at our house a month. That's not including rescue medications and Azia medications like rescue inhalers and EpiPens and that sort of thing. So you got to think doing that on top of regular doctor visits, on top of paying specialists every month for services that'll be going on for at least the next 4 years, 5 years, something like that. It gets expensive. And it wasn't that I wasn't ready for these bills. It was just that there was some money that didn't come through that was supposed to, and it kind of put us in a bind, put us behind. Not to the, I mean, we're not at the point yet that it's going to risk anything, but that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep it from getting to that point. So even though there's a UCare page, I am busting my ass to make sure that we get extra money made. And hey, you're not supposed to be doing that. And I busted you. You know better. No butt in the seat.
No
Is your seatbelt on?
Yeah.
Okay.
No butt in the seat.
No, I said keep your butt in the seat. Feet out of it. Now.
Ooh. Man, I don't know.
Oh, like you got any room to say anything?
I'm reading. Yeah, you don't have reading.
She likes to read. That one back there, we won't even get into it.
I got this book today and I'm already on page 58.
I tried to order them books from, apparently, whenever there's a book fair at the school, you can go on the website and shop their book fair for the school online. Because I was actually on there looking for a Mythbusters book that I meant to give Aiden money for when the book fair was at his school, because he loves Mythbusters. And he totally let it skip by without reminding me to give him money. And so I had her check, and she said she didn't see one. So I went online to see if I could find it or find a book that he might like. And anyway, I went to try to check out, and it said that her school isn't registered, that I needed to print out this paper and give it to her teacher and have them register. And I'm just like, it's over tomorrow. You know, just get yourself a book. I mean, he gets books all the time from the book fair, so if he didn't get one this time, it's not going to do anything. I try to go on family nights and give them both like an allotted amount of money that they can spend at the book fair. I like doing things to help out the school. I don't exactly know how much money the school gets from the book fairs. I know people buy books to donate to the school. They get how much?
37%.
Okay, so Aiden said 37% for sponsorship. I would prefer to find the books elsewhere because they're cheaper, and then just donate to the school, or do more with like their bigger fundraisers where they keep more percentage or even 100% of the money, because 37% just isn't a lot when it comes to that, and their books are such a markup most of the time. It's crazy.
I got this bracelet for donating for coins for cancer. It says #CarterStrong, and it has the little symbols. They're like $1 each, and I got my friend one too.
Yep, so she donated for coins for cancer, and I've got to go on the website because we're not going to do donations to Locks of Love. I'm going to use another program that does not sell the wigs, and they make wigs specifically for kids with cancer, and they give them away to kids in need, and they need hair donations. So what I'm going to do, oh damn, meth head, crazy skanky looking thing.
What?
You can always tell when we get close to the wrong end of this highway. Did you not see her? She almost walked right in the side of the car. Oh yeah.
I was reading.
Anyway, but I gotta find this charity and see what their rules are. I know the ones for Locks of Love, like how long it has to be minimum, and he is actually wanting his haircut like Roman Atwood. And as much as I'm against it, because I think he looks better with long hair. I mean, he's gorgeous either way, but I prefer him with long hair. I'm going to agree to it, but he said he wanted to donate hair, so I want to make sure that it's long enough before we go and chop it all off. So we'll see, because it has to be long enough when you pull it back in a ponytail and cut it off. That has to be the length, because then we have to package it up and send it in the ponytail form. He thought you just stuffed a bunch of hair in an envelope, I guess. So I'm really... Oh, that is an interesting little Mini Cooper. It's like a Mini Cooper wagon. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing too. But we're going to be working on some plushies and that sort of thing. And maybe I will show you guys on here. Maybe I'll share some behind the scenes stuff on how I do that. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm at the pharmacy. Okay, so we just dropped Caitlin off, and I was talking to her dad, explaining to him like everything that they told us at the orthodontist, which, I mean, I call him when we leave anyway, because we were really close friends, and we work real well together as far as co-parenting. And actually, when I wrestled, I've been his manager and his tag partner before. And soon, well, in April, he's taking Aiden with him up to where he lives, which is in a different county. Actually, it's really close to Virginia. And with him and his sister, he's taking both of them and going to keep them so we can go see one of my favorite bands, Go Go Bordello. If you haven't heard them, I'll link up like one of my favorite songs below. I'll put the link to the actual video, and then I'll put a link to one of the live videos of them doing that song. And let me explain a little bit to you guys for a minute about myself. This band, the lead singer, Eugene Hutz, or I'm not real sure how you pronounce his last name, they all used to be immigrants. I don't know if they still are, but they were from like all over the world, and they have a large band. But from what I understand, it kind of changes from time to time. Some of the things that stay pretty steady is Eugene and the guy that plays the accordion. And then there's a guy that plays fiddle that stays in there too, or violin or whatever. But anyway, there's a documentary out on Eugene, and we have it, and I love it because it was a lady that wanted to do a documentary on him and gypsies, like the whole like gypsy life, the gypsy camps, the gypsy music, because Eugene, from what I understand, is a gypsy. And I don't mean like in the sense of the way that people use the term gypsy, but I'm talking like blood related gypsies. And I know he's from Russia, but see, here's the thing a lot of people don't understand. Like there's different lines of gypsies, and there's so many have overcame such hardships in the past, and I'm talking like, you know, back in like bad war times and stuff, that they've moved around a lot and they've shifted around a lot, and you know, and then we've got these stupid shows that come on TV here. I believe that one is called My Big Fat Gypsy American Wedding. And from what I have seen of this show, they're all Romanishell gypsies. And like, they all use the same dress designer to design these horrible wedding dresses. And she's the Romanishell gypsy. And they have these get-togethers, like meet and greets kind of, in one location where other Romanishell gypsies can meet other ones and so forth, because typically you don't marry outside of the gypsy line. And then there's like, there was one story that I know I've seen. A girl was an Irish traveler or gypsy, and they have their own ways of doing things, and she was marrying a Romanishell gypsy man, and from what I gather, she claims that they have to get permission from the male in their family, which in her case was her brother, and they're very protective, and if they don't get the blessing, then they can't have the wedding. And you know, and they kind of show like the really shitty side of all of this. Like, they show, like, of course it's reality TV, so I don't know how much of it is real and scripted. I mean, they show them fighting at the weddings. I've seen one where a mother was on a cane and she took a golf cart and chased her son, who was just as hideously dressed as his soon-to-be wife, and chased him down, beating him with her cane because he was marrying a non-Romanishell gypsy woman, because they have a very strict standard of life, especially for the women. And you know, people assume that when you say Romanishell or Romani gypsy, that it means that you are from, or that your family is from Romania. And that is not so much the case. But there's a lot of history behind it, and they've got a vast history. So you really have to look, you know, you really have to search and read. And I'm actually, I always say I'm half Romanov, but I'm not. I'm like a fourth. That would make me a fourth Romanov, because that would be on my father's side, I'm half, or he's half, so I'd be fourth. But anyway, and you know, I was talking to my kids about this, and of course, when they're younger, they all have this one idea of what a gypsy is, and it's all stereotyped from TV and movies and stuff like that. And they were studying ancestry at school, in my daughter's school, and she was talking to me, and you know, I was explaining to her how her father, you know, is Irish, to a point. I don't know exactly like how much Irish blood he has in him. So I've done a little bit of genealogy, but anyway, I was explaining to her that I do know that her dad has Irish in him, and then I have Romani and Scottish in me.
And I have a Gaelic in me.
And then, you know, we were talking about that, and she mentioned it to somebody at school. And, I mean, most people would call this racism, and it very well may be, but I think it was more of just uneducation, because this isn't something that people, you know, talk to their kids about, because most people, until they know somebody that is Romani or Romanishell or, you know, any type of gypsy or traveler, they don't really have a clue as to what it really means. A lot of people just think that if you like to travel, that you are a gypsy. Well, you can think that way all you want, but there are some lineages that if you claim to be a gypsy and they have very secretive stuff in their family or in their bloodline or their camps or whatever, and if you don't know, they will shun you and call you out it's just really crazy. So I get really irritated when I see people use the term gypsy so loosely, just because they don't really know the history behind gypsies, and they don't know of all of this, you know, all of the stuff that so many of my ancestors and others like me have been through. I know in Bulgaria they take big offense to being called gypsies because they think that you're calling them a thief. So they just prefer the term traveler. And that's fine. It's all about respect. But, so somebody, you know, somebody mentioned something to my daughter and was like, well, gypsies are thieves. And she just kind of shook it off, you know, because, I mean, again, it's one of those things that you really aren't going to know unless you know somebody yourself, because it's not something that's really talked about a whole lot. And, they share lockers at her school, and something got stolen out of their locker and got them missing out of their locker, and they automatically looked at her and was like, it's you're a gypsy, so you stole it. And she was like, what? And she was telling me this, and they ended up finding out where it went and everything. And I'm like, you know, just to educate people, that's all you can really do. I'm sure that that TV show is not helping us in the least, but yeah. So that's a little fun little education for you all on me today. A lot of people don't realize it because Rome and Michelle are more, or Rome and I are more usually Middle Eastern, or not necessarily Middle Eastern, but dark skin, dark hair, dark eyes. And you know, I'm a natural blonde, and I stay pretty pale because I avoid the sun, but me and my father both are like that. And then the rest of our family all have dark hair, dark skin, dark eyes. So it's, you know, and when I went to that side of the family's reunion before, we really stuck out really bad. We looked like we were adopted. Yeah. But, you know, I think, you know, with me, I do know that my grandmother is Scottish. So I know that I've got that, like, very heavily in my blood. So I don't exactly know, of course, what all I am. Nobody does unless they do like the DNA markers, but I'm actually even thinking about doing that just to teach people, or just to educate people, or educate them myself on things. And you can also meet people that you're related to if they're in the database. So I don't know, we'll talk about that. If you are if genealogy is something that, or ancestry is something that you take, you know, into as a hobby, please let me know. I would love to talk to some of you all that do that. I've done it for a little bit, but I didn't get super serious with it, and I would like to, but I have a big gap that's missing in my family, and it's on the Scottish side, because after there's a certain point in time where records are missing because there was a fire, from what I understand from my friend that actually lives in Scotland, and it's a place where they keep a lot of records. And so I can't find everything that I need to know, or that I would like to know. And a lot of what I find from Ireland and Scotland are from the churches, like church records, baptisms, marriages, stuff like that. Anyway, but if that is a hobby of yours, please let me know. I would love to start a conversation about it. I would love to talk to some of you all about it. See what you all use, what you all found out. If you've done DNA testing, let me know. Let me know what your results were. I'm very interested. Anyway, thanks. I think I'm going to end this here, just because I'm going to try to spend tonight just watching a movie with my son and sewing and working on some projects. So I guess I'll end this here and say so long, guys, until tomorrow. Maybe I may have to take tomorrow off. As I said, my husband doesn't like to be in the vlogs, or he doesn't like to be on camera, and I think it's more he doesn't like to talk on camera. So I respect him, and because of that, I will I may or may not film tomorrow. It just really depends on how much he sleeps. Our dogs are going crazy. My chickens are sitting with my dogs. And my son, don't, because that rooster is almost 20 pounds. So if he starts thinking that you're trying to hurt his woman and he comes after you, that's gonna hurt. I have Jersey Black Giants. Anyway, but yeah, just let me know if you guys have done the DNA testing for Ancestry, or if genealogy and that stuff is something that you do. I'm very interested in it and would like to hook up and talk to some people who have done it or do it, and find out some more info, what I'm missing, where I may be able to find some more information. Love you guys.